How are you today? How's your quarantine going?
Good, really good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all like kind of like brightened up recently. Like it was a bit
yeah,
dark at the beginning, but now it's good. I woke up with like a huge smile on my face, and now that Funny's out, I'm just like, I don't know, just quite positive, I'd say. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So with Funny and with the other, you did another video in quarantine as well. So with those, did you produce the songs while at home, or were they pre-recorded for?
So most of those we for those two songs, Lovely, Lonely and Funny, all of the like vocal recordings were all done before lockdown, luckily. All of
Mhm.
the acoustic versions, I actually had to try and do them at home, which I was in quite like a lucky situation because I spent so much time on YouTube when I was younger that I saved up all of the gear to actually have like a little home studio. So when lockdown kicked in, I like moved back to my mum's, and when I did the acoustic version, it meant that, I could get away with recording things at home, but
Mhm.
I got away with it. I wouldn't say that it was like easy, but it was good to just I don't know, try and be a bit DIY.
Yeah,
It was nice. It was good.
yeah,
Yeah, that hope gladly like the official versions were all done in like proper studios and
yeah.
stuff.
That's cool. So with the videos themselves, it well, like you said, it's more like DIY. But do you feel you got more creative input because you were in charge of so much more having to be at home and stuff?
Yeah, totally. It was really fun with Love for the Lonely. We had to very late, what's the word? Very late notice. We had to rearrange the original concept to then fit into being like more DIY. And this was at like the very, very beginning of lockdown in the UK, where we were even not sure if we could get away with getting like cameramen or going to a studio. Like none of the rules had been officially made. So we were just going off the guidelines that, it's safer to just do it on our own. And the same thing goes with YouTube. Like I actually have some pretty decent cameras. So for Love for the Lonely, what we did is we set up this projector that I've had for a while, because we just like use it as a TV. Like it's so much
Yeah, I
easier.
saw that. That was really cool in the back. It's all like, the nature and
Thank
everything.
you.
So
Cheers. No,
you
yeah.
just so was that your idea to just like do the
Yeah,
projector
I
or
was just
yeah?
talking with my team, and like, there's a lovely director called Jack Munch who's based in the UK, and I know him through a friend. And I was talking to him, just saying like, look, obviously we need to try and be as creative as possible, but I still would like something that has movement to it, but is still a little bit more delicate. It's not like too in your face. So in the flat, like there's just a big white wall. So we stuck the projector on it, and Jack collected loads of these visual images of people going through their different
Yeah.
emotions and having fun. And we just projected that and just did like a one take, like shot to camera. We were like filming it till like 5 a.m. and it was just me and my flatmate. Like I got
Really?
a photo of her like standing on boxes and boxes and boxes and trying to
Yeah.
like reach like the right height to get the good angles. And
Yeah.
she changed from being she's a lawyer normally, like a solicitor. She changed from being a solicitor into a makeup
Cinematographer.
artist,
Yeah, yeah,
a lighting. She did a photo shoot. Like
yeah.
she was having so much fun learning all of these different talents during lockdown.
Yeah.
Um, and then the same thing kind of goes for the video for Funny. We tried to keep it along the same storyline about how me and Zed actually met, which was kind of just through like texting and communicating like online. And the director, who's also called Jack, different Jack, he just made up this crazy of like being on
Yeah.
Zoom and like texting and having puppies and ordering loads of
Yeah.
cookie dough. And Lewis Capaldi turns up and like he just sent over this whole script. And I was like, this is amazing. This is so much fun. He was just like, all you need to do is just like film yourself, get on photo booth and just sing, have
Yeah.
fun,
Oh, that
dance.
was actually on photo booth or?
Yeah. So it
Oh,
was like,
cool.
it was actually my laptop. Like that's all my screen,
Oh,
just like,
for real?
yeah, just he
Oh,
literally just said like open up photo booth, like
yeah.
screen record everything and just take loads of takes of you
That's
singing
crazy.
dance around, and then like literally 2 hours later, he would just like just send it all over on retransfer, and then that was like my part done. And then he just put together everything with like Zedd dancing around and playing like the video games and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So it was nice. He kind of like made a little puzzle out of all of the different pieces.
That's so cool. I was like looking at the laptop's like dying battery the whole time. It was stressing me out. I was like, oh my god. But wait, whose dogs were those? Were those like, was that just like stock image, or were those?
I don't know. I'm assuming that
Yeah.
they are stock image.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love them. I love the little
They were
husky
fun. It was
at the
fun
end.
little.
Yeah, they were like properly just like dancing around and
Yeah,
everything. It was
that
good.
was so dope. With Zed, how cool was it? Because I feel like you're kind of at the age where like you grew up with his music just all around. So how crazy
Yeah.
was it to get to like collaborate with him on this?
Honestly, it was so unexpected. The way that we got connected was through these producers that I work with in
Oh, cool.
LA. And then so they're really good friends with him. And they actually didn't tell me that they wanted to send Funny to Zed as like
Oh,
a
really?
collaboration. So it was like a huge surprise. I just randomly got this email from my managers with the version that Zed had done. And I was like, no way. Like he's
It's
actually
like a whole different,
yeah,
yeah.
I was like, that's completely unexpected. Never in like my wildest dreams would I just think that like someone like an artist like Zed has like
Yeah,
wanted to collaborate and has been working on this like amazing production,
that's
heard
so
the
cool.
first version and like absolutely just loved everything he did with it. He flipped it around completely because originally it was a bit more of like a piano ballad, sort of more melancholy
Yeah,
sort of song. And then he turned it into a much more like hopeful, positive,
yeah,
like summertime kind of thing, which is, I love that sort of stuff. That's why I love collaborating with like other
mhm,
artists who like are DJs or producers. They come from a different music genre because they bring so many different elements with it and they have a completely different interpretation of certain songs. And that's the whole joy of collaborating. So yeah, like you said, I kind of grew up listening to all of these things. I remember going to like really bad house parties when I was like
yeah,
14, and we're like bopping around to like
yeah,
Clarity
yeah,
or like all of these different things, and I was just like, this is absolutely mental that we now
yeah.
have a song together. I was really happy.
That's so cool. With collaborations and stuff, who's like on your dream list, would you say, of people you want to work with?
Honestly, I have like no reservations to anyone. If anyone came up to me and said like, look, like I wouldn't mind doing a little collab, I'd love it. I love
Mhm.
collaborating with like DJ producers. I'd also love
Yeah.
to collaborate with like a female artist.
Mhm.
I just as long as like when you have like two singers, if the like tones of your vocals like gel together, it can be so beautiful. I
Yeah.
think it's so nice when people like harmonize together and they create this sort of world that only exists in that song, and it's so nice. Everyone has that thing that makes them special, so when you
Yeah.
combine it, it's really cool. The one person I would have always loved to have like collaborated with was like, Avicii, for example.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
I loved him so much. I was absolutely like
Yeah.
distraught when he passed away. But like,
Yeah.
what a legend in music and like will always like
Yeah.
be remembered. There's so many
Some
amazing
great
artists
hits.
I'd like to work with.
Yeah.
You know?
When it comes to your peers and other people in the industry, have there been any other at-home efforts that have kind of like stuck out to you that you've seen and you've been like, wow, like they're also doing it pretty well?
Right now, like during lockdown,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
there is an incredible artist called Griff. She's
yeah.
also quite a young girl. She's incredible. I've known about her for a while because I've known her through my friend a couple of years ago, but she's so creative. She's also really into fashion and she makes her own clothes. So
Oh,
she's
cool.
also been like sewing, doing all of her own dresses, just really like bossing it. She is great. There's another guy called Jacob Collier, who's a really great artist, like very, very musical and absolute like genius when it comes to production. And he's just been doing loads of live streams and stuff. Like at the beginning, I think everyone got a bit bothered by how many like live streams all of the artists were.
So many ideas.
But it was really fun, like seeing a different side, like people being
Yeah,
at home. But I
yeah.
don't know. I really respect all of the artists that are releasing music at the moment. One of my friends
Yeah.
just released like an album, someone released an EP, and it's like they say like it's so much fun that you can release it at home, but they also feel a little bit lost because normally you'd be out there and you'd be gigging and you'd be
Yeah.
spreading your music as much as possible, whereas now you're at home and there's like good sides and there's bad sides to it. But yeah, it's weird at the moment.
It's interesting because like I feel like you get to see while you're not getting the in-person live experience, obviously we're kind of being like blocked from that. It's when you're doing interviews at home, you kind of see more of the artist's like personality and where they are. And like when you're like, I don't know, like the IG lives, they kind of feel personal on some sort of
Yeah,
level. So I think
definitely.
that's like an interesting shift that we've kind of taken as a culture during this time when it comes to like artist fan interaction.
Yeah.
What's been like the coolest fan response you've heard from the stuff you've released during this time?
Oh, I don't know. I've kind of like because Funny just came out yesterday. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like kind of scared to look at all of the comments.
they're good. They look, people are. I feel like people like it.
Thank you. I mean,
Yeah,
I just like had a quick like breeze through this morning, like saw
yeah,
the video and it's already gone to like 100,000 views on
yeah.
YouTube. And I was just like blown away. Some of them are so lovely. I love how cheeky everyone is. Everyone's so cheeky, especially towards like Zedd. Like Zedd
Yeah.
asked, like, what's your favorite moment in the video? And the first comment I saw was like, oh, when your face pops up. I was just laughing so much that everyone's just so on it with like
Yeah.
having fun and just being like funny. It's quite nice. But I don't know. I think tonight what I'm gonna do is like after I've like finished work, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
like go through all of the comments and like read through because it's nice when you see like familiar faces and people who have like stayed true and also meet all the new people that are coming from like Zed's side of the world.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's
you
gonna
got
be
a yeah.
nice.
And you got a Louis Capaldi cameo in there too, which is
Yeah.
really cool. I love that. I was like
Thank
not
you.
expecting that at all.
Honestly, yeah, they like I wasn't expecting it either. Jack, the director, like didn't really tell me because he wanted it to be a bit of a surprise.
Hmm.
When I saw it, I honestly, me and my flatmate are such like huge fans.
Yeah.
We were just laughing our head off. Like I love it. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And last question, how are you like staying sane? What's the content and like stuff you're
Mm.
binging and listening to that's like helping you like find peace during
I'd
this?
say like it's that's the thing. It's like trying to stay sane. The stuff that I normally wouldn't do, I've been doing. So like
Yeah.
I'm allowing myself to just sit down and watch TV. Like
Yeah.
I've binge watched the whole of Narcos, like from the
Oh.
beginning to the end, and it was so good. Normally I don't allow myself to sit down and watch stuff for too long.
Mm,
I don't know. I've been spending way more time with my family. Just
that's,
walking.
that's good.
Like
And you're staying in
having,
London?
yeah, I'm in London at the
Okay.
moment. Like
Mm,
at the beginning of lockdown, I was in my flat around East London with my flatmate, and then when things started to look like it could be a long run, I kind of very quickly was like, okay, I should probably go stay with
mm,
my mum, make sure she's doing all right, and things like that. So I don't know. It's nice being home. It's
um,
nice just chilling out for once and like having that time. Some of my friends have been on major health kicks and they are
yeah.
so healthy now, really toned, eating well. Like it's lovely to see. And I've kind of just done the opposite. Like I think it's either that or that. And I've
Yeah.
definitely
It's
gone for the
you're on one side or
yeah,
the
I was
other.
like, I'm sitting in front of the TV. I'm having Ben and Jerry's like every night. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna just enjoy not seeing anyone because you could just work
Yeah.
all day as long as you're not like it's that can be really bad for your like mental health, you know. As
Yeah.
long as you have that moment where you get enough like daylight, you look after what you eat and stuff like that. Like it's been nice just being at home and just like get a pizza. Like why not?
Yeah.
Like it's really fun.